Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. I step into the house, the familiar scent of home enveloping me like a warm embrace. After a long business trip, I expect to find my wife, Sarah, waiting for me with her radiant smile and a home-cooked meal. But as I walk through the door, the stillness is deafening. The soft hum of the refrigerator is the only sound that greets me. Sarah. I call out, my voice echoing through the empty rooms. No response. I drop my suitcase by the door and head to the kitchen. That's when I see it, her cell phone, lying on the table, its screen illuminating a string of messages. I pick it up, my heart racing. It's not like Sarah to leave her phone unattended. As I unlock it, a surge of anxiety courses through me. I scroll through her messages, and what I find makes my stomach churn. There, in plain sight, are dozens of messages from a man I don't recognize. "You looked so hot last night," one reads. "Can't wait to see you again." My hands tremble as I read the messages, my heart pounding in my chest. I dig deeper, and the reality of the situation hits me like a punch to the gut. Explicit photos flash across the screen, each one more intimate than the last. "What the hell, Sarah?" I mutter under my breath, feeling the betrayal seeping into my bones. I had trusted her completely, and now this. I throw the phone onto the table, my mind racing. How long has this been going on? Who is this guy? My thoughts spiral into a dark abyss of confusion and anger. As I pace the kitchen, my mind churns with possibilities. I can't just sit here and let this slide. No, I need to confront her. But first, I need to know more about this man who has invaded my life. I pick up her phone again, determined to uncover the truth. The messages reveal more than just flirtation, they are plans, intimate moments shared without me. "Meet me at the same place next week," another message reads, along with a heart emoji. I can feel my blood boiling. I'm filled with a mix of anger and heartbreak. My mind races with images of them together, laughing, sharing secrets, while I'm away, oblivious to the affair brewing right under my nose. I know I need to confront Sarah, but I also feel an overwhelming urge for revenge. The thought solidifies in my mind: if she thinks she can betray me and get away with it, she has another thing coming. I can't let this go unanswered. Suddenly, I hear the front door creak open. My heart races. Sarah steps in, her eyes lighting up when she sees me. But that light fades as she takes in my expression: furrowed brows, clenched fists. "Oh, you're home early," she exclaims, her voice light, too light for my taste. "Yeah," I reply coolly, "I'm home." I can't keep the anger from seeping into my tone. Her smile falters. "What's wrong? You look upset." "Upset?" I echo, a bitter laugh escaping my lips. "You could say that." I gesture toward her phone still lying on the table. "Care to explain?" Her eyes widen as she realizes what I mean. "What do you mean? What's on my phone?" I can't help but scoff. "Oh, just some sweet nothings from a friend." I step closer, watching her face drain of color. "You've been busy while I was away, haven't you?" "I can explain," she stammers, her voice rising with panic. "Can you?" I challenge, crossing my arms. "Because it seems pretty clear to me. You've been cheating on me for who knows how long." She takes a step back, her expression shifting from shock to defensive. "It's not what you think. I wasn't cheating." "Then what was it?" I ask, my voice low, filled with barely contained rage. "Was it just some harmless flirting? Because it sure looked pretty damn intimate to me." I didn't mean for it to happen," she pleads, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "That's a hell of a way to apologize, Sarah." I shake my head, feeling the weight of betrayal settle over me like a dark cloud. You've destroyed everything we built together. I trusted you. Her face crumples, and for a moment, I almost feel pity. But the anger is too strong. You have no idea what you've done to me, I say coldly. You've made your choice. Now it's time for me to make mine. I turn away from her, the sound of her sobs echoing behind me. As I step outside into the cool night air, a sense of clarity washes over me. I won't just let this go, I will make sure she understands the gravity of her betrayal. She thinks she can walk away unscathed. Not a chance. The plans form in my mind, each one darker than the last. I will ruin her life just as she has ruined mine. And this is only the beginning. The night air is thick with tension as I stand on the porch, my heart still racing from the confrontation with Sarah. I hear the front door creak open behind me, but I can't bring myself to turn around. I feel like I'm standing on the edge of a cliff, ready to jump into the abyss of chaos. Brian. Sarah calls after me, her voice shaky. Please, let's talk about this. I shake my head, my jaw clenched tight. What's there to talk about? You've made your choices clear. I can feel the anger bubbling beneath the surface, ready to explode. Just then, my phone buzzes in my pocket. It's a text from my best friend, Mark. You good? Heard you were back. I take a deep breath, my fingers hovering over the screen. Not really. Can you come over? On my way, he replies. I look back at Sarah, who's standing in the doorway, tears streaming down her face. You're just going to leave me like this? She asks, her voice cracking. You did this to yourself, I retort, finally turning to face her. You need to face the consequences of your actions. As the seconds tick by, I feel a familiar presence behind me. Mark steps onto the porch, his brow furrowed with concern. Hey, man. What's going on? Brian, Sarah pleads, please don't do this here. Mark glances between us, sensing the tension. Whoa, what happened? You won't believe it, I say, my voice low and steady. She's been cheating on me. The words hang in the air, heavy and suffocating. Mark's eyes widen. What? With who? Some guy, I say, shaking my head. I don't even know his name. But the messages, I pull out Sarah's phone, waving it in the air. They're all right here. It's like she's been living a double life. Let me see, Mark says, reaching for the phone. I hand it over, watching his face as he scrolls through the messages, his expression shifting from disbelief to anger. Damn, Brian, he finally says, looking up at me. I'm so sorry. Sarah's face crumples further. You're not being fair. You don't understand what I was going through. Mark's expression turns serious. What do you mean? I was lonely, she bursts out. You were always gone on these trips. I needed someone to talk to. I never meant for it to go this far. That's not an excuse, I snap, stepping forward. You could have come to me. You could have talked to me. Yeah, but I didn't think you would understand, she retorts, her voice rising. I can feel my patience wearing thin. So you thought cheating was the answer? Mark intervenes, sensing the fight brewing. Let's take a step back. Brian, you need to think about what you want to do next. I take a deep breath, trying to rein in my emotions. I want to make her understand what she's done. I want her to feel the same pain I'm feeling. Revenge isn't the answer, Mark warns, his voice steady. It'll just lead to more hurt. What do you suggest? Just let her walk away. She doesn't deserve that. I say, my voice rising. We need a plan, Mark says, his tone calm. One that doesn't involve ruining your own life in the process. Suddenly, Sarah's phone buzzes again, drawing our attention. Mark glances at the screen, his brows knitting together. It's another message from that guy, he says, frowning. We should see what he's saying. No way, I say, shaking my head. I'm not going to give her the satisfaction of knowing I'm still invested in her affairs. But this could give you insight into what's really going on, Mark insists, glancing at Sarah. Do you want to know? No. Just stop. Sarah shouts, her voice cracking. This is ridiculous. You're both acting like I'm some kind of villain. I feel the anger simmering beneath my skin. You brought this on yourself. Fine. You want to know what I'm doing? She snaps, crossing her arms. I'm going to get my own place, figure out my life without you. My heart sinks. The thought of her moving on without a second glance feels like a dagger to the chest. You think that's the answer? I say, my voice trembling with emotion. It's what I need, she insists. I deserve to be happy too. Mark steps in again, trying to mediate. Look, we're all hurting here. But running away won't solve anything. I turn to him, desperation creeping into my voice. I don't want to lose her, but how can I ever trust her again? You need to confront the situation head-on, Mark says. But it has to be on your terms, not out of revenge. That's not who you are. I take a step back, trying to collect my thoughts. What if I make her regret this? What if I expose her to everyone? Sarah gasps. You wouldn't. Mark shakes his head, his voice firm. That's not the answer, Brian. You're better than that. Silence falls between us, the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air. I know I need to make a choice, either let go of the past or let it consume me. Fine, I finally say, my voice low. But you need to understand this isn't over, Sarah. I won't let you walk away without consequences. As I turn to head inside, I can feel the storm brewing within me. I don't know what my next move will be, but I know one thing for sure, this isn't just about betrayal anymore. It's about reclaiming my life, and I won't let her escape without feeling the weight of her choices. You'll regret this, I mutter under my breath as I step into the house, leaving Sarah and Mark standing on the porch, the tension hanging heavy in the air. The game has just begun, and I'm not backing down. The night drags on as I sit in the living room, the dim light from the lamp casting shadows that dance across the walls. Mark has gone home, leaving me alone with my thoughts. Sarah's words echo in my mind, I'm going to get my own place. The thought stings. I take a deep breath and remind myself of the anger that fuels my determination. Suddenly, my phone buzzes again, pulling me from my thoughts. It's a group message from Mark. Hey, I'm meeting up with some friends at the bar. You should come. Get your mind off things. I hesitate for a moment. The idea of drowning my sorrows in alcohol sounds tempting, but I'm not ready to mask my feelings. I type back, I'm good. Just need some time. Whatever you say, man, he replies. Just remember you're not alone. I glance at Sarah's phone still lying on the table, its screen cracked but functional. The messages I read earlier haunt me. I pick it up and scroll through again, searching for anything that could provide more insight into her betrayal. I click on the conversation with the strange man, my stomach twisting as I read his messages again. Can't wait to feel you again, one says. My blood runs cold. I can't let this slide. I need to know who this guy is, where he comes from, and what their relationship looks like. In a moment of reckless resolve, I pull up her contact list and find a name I don't recognize, Jake. I jot it down on a piece of paper, a plan forming in my mind. If she's going to run away from this, then I'll track him down, I mutter to myself. I can feel the adrenaline coursing through me, the need for action propelling me forward. I grab my jacket and head for the door, determined to find answers. As I step outside, the crisp night air hits my face. I pull out my phone and search for bars nearby, knowing that if this guy is anything like Sarah, he'll be easy to find. The screen lights up with options, and I settle on a place just a few blocks away, the Rusty Nail. Once I arrive, I scan the dimly lit bar, the smell of beer and fried food overwhelming my senses. It's packed, and I make my way to the bar. I order a drink, my eyes scanning the crowd for any sign of the man who has disrupted my life. Minutes stretch into what feels like hours. I'm about to give up when I notice a group of guys laughing at a table in the corner. One of them stands out, tall, with messy hair and a cocky grin. I can't see his face clearly, but there's something about him that feels familiar. I finish my drink and approach their table, my heart racing. "Excuse me, is one of you guys named Jake?" I ask, trying to keep my voice steady. The group turns to look at me, and Jake leans back, sizing me up. "Yeah, that's me. What's up?" I take a deep breath, trying to contain the anger bubbling within me. "I need to talk to you. It's about Sarah." The laughter dies down, and the mood shifts. Jake's expression turns serious. "What about her?" I step closer, not caring that I'm drawing attention from the other patrons. "You're the guy she's been texting, right? The one she's been cheating with?" Jake raises an eyebrow, his smirk returning. "Wow, someone's got some balls. You must be Brian." I clench my fists, anger flooding my system. "Don't act like this is some game. You're ruining my marriage." "Your marriage?" Jake laughs, leaning back in his chair. "Maybe you should have been around more. Sarah needed someone who actually cared." I feel a wave of fury wash over me. "You think this is funny? You're a parasite, feeding off someone else's relationship." "Easy, man," one of Jake's friends interjects, eyeing me with a mixture of curiosity and caution. "Stay out of this," I snap, keeping my eyes fixed on Jake. "This is between me and you." Jake shrugs, clearly enjoying the confrontation. "Look, she was the one who came to me. I'm not the bad guy here. You think you're innocent?" I spit back. "You knew she was married. You chose to go after her anyway." Jake leans forward, his voice low. "Honestly, man, you should have seen the way she looked at me. She wanted this. I just gave her what you couldn't." The words hit me like a punch. I feel the anger boiling over, and before I can stop myself, I'm reaching for Jake. My hands grip his collar, pulling him to his feet. "You think you can just walk into my life and take everything from me?" The bar erupts in noise as people turn to watch the scene unfold. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, adrenaline coursing through me. Jake smirks again, clearly unfazed. "You're making a mistake, man. You really want to do this here?" I shove him back, and he stumbles into his chair. "You have no idea what kind of mistake I'm going to make for you," I threaten, stepping closer, ready to lose control. Before I can say another word, a security guard approaches, a heavy-set man with a stern expression. "Hey! What's going on here?" I release Jake, my fists still clenched at my sides. "Nothing, just a conversation." "Looks like more than that," the guard says, eyeing me suspiciously. "I suggest you both cool it or get out." Jake grins, putting his hands up in mock surrender. "No problem, man. Just having a friendly chat." I shoot him one last glare before turning to leave, my heart still racing. As I step outside, the cool air hits my face, grounding me. I can't let this end here. I need to make Sarah feel the weight of her betrayal, and Jake is just the beginning. The thought of what to do next swirls in my mind. I need more than just a confrontation, I need a plan, something that will ensure both of them understand the consequences of their actions. Revenge is in the air, and I'm just getting started. The next morning, the sun rises reluctantly, casting a gray light over the world outside. I sit at the kitchen table, Sarah's phone in front of me like a ticking time bomb. The weight of everything that's happened sits heavy on my shoulders. I can't shake off the anger that has become my constant companion, and I'm more determined than ever to make Sarah feel the full impact of her betrayal. I pick up the phone and scroll through the messages again, searching for anything that might give me an edge. As I do, a name pops out from a group message, Mark. I stop, confusion washing over me. Mark? My best friend. I click on it, my heart racing as I see messages exchanged between Sarah and Mark. I miss you, one message reads. Can't wait to see you again. My heart sinks as I keep scrolling, reading more messages that reveal an entirely different side of the story, one I never anticipated. Suddenly, the front door swings open, and Sarah steps in, her expression cheerful but faltering when she sees me. Hey! You're up early. I stand up, holding the phone like a weapon. Care to explain this? I thrust the screen toward her, anger boiling over. Her face pales as she realizes what I'm showing her. Brian, You were cheating on me with Mark. My best friend. The betrayal feels like a knife twisting in my gut. It's not what you think, she pleads, stepping closer. Not what I think. Because it looks pretty clear to me. I snap. You said you were lonely, and you turned to my best friend? You've got to be kidding me. I was trying to cope with everything, she argues, her voice shaky. Mark was there for me when you weren't. I laugh bitterly, the realization hitting me like a freight train. So you found comfort in the arms of the one person I trusted the most. It wasn't like that, she insists, her voice rising. You were gone all the time. I didn't know how to handle it. I shake my head, rage flooding my veins. You think this is a justification? You both betrayed me. Just then, my phone buzzes again. It's Mark. I can't help but feel a mix of anger and dread. I need to talk to you. Meet me at the Rusty Nail. I look up at Sarah, my eyes narrowing. So he wants to talk. Maybe I'll go pay him a visit. Brian, please. Don't do anything rash, she begs, desperation in her voice. But I can feel the fury bubbling within me. You're the one who made this mess, not me. I grab my jacket and storm out the door, leaving her standing there, helpless. As I arrive at the Rusty Nail, I see Mark sitting at the bar, a drink in front of him. He glances up as I approach, his expression unreadable. Hey, man. Thanks for coming. I don't sit. Instead, I lean against the bar, glaring at him. What the hell, Mark? You're sleeping with my wife. Mark's eyes widen, and he holds his hands up defensively. It's not like that, Brian. It just happened. Oh, it just happened. I echo, the bitterness lacing my words. You just happened to be there when I wasn't. You knew she was my wife. I didn't plan it. I swear. She was upset, and I was just trying to help her. I scoff, the betrayal deepening. Help her? By sleeping with her? You're supposed to be my friend. Mark looks down, shame written all over his face. I know I messed up. I never meant for it to go this far. But she was vulnerable. The anger inside me roars like a wildfire, consuming all rational thought. You think this is a justification? I trusted you, Mark. You've lost everything. Just then, Sarah bursts through the door, her eyes wide with panic. Brian, please. Don't do this. I turn to her, fury flaring anew. Stay out of this. No. I won't, she retorts, stepping forward. I need you to understand. Mark and I. Don't even say it. I yell, cutting her off. You both betrayed me, and now you want to make excuses. Mark looks between us, clearly uncomfortable. Guys, this isn't the way to handle this. We can talk about this. Talk. I laugh bitterly. There's nothing left to talk about. You both made your choices. Sarah's expression shifts from anger to desperation. I'm sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. I can feel my heart breaking, the betrayal cutting deeper than I could have imagined. You've both ruined everything. I can't even look at you anymore. Brian, please. Sarah cries, her voice trembling. I take a deep breath, my mind racing with the implications of this betrayal. I can't see a way back. I've lost my wife, my best friend, and my trust. You both deserve each other, I say, my voice low and cold. I'm done. I want nothing to do with either of you. With that, I turn to leave, the weight of heartbreak and anger pushing me forward. You can't just walk away. Mark calls after me, but I don't look back. The door swings shut behind me, the sound echoing in the silence of the bar. As I step into the night, I feel a sense of clarity wash over me. I may have lost everything, but I refuse to let this define me. The betrayal has left scars, but it will not destroy me. I pull out my phone and delete Sarah's number, along with Mark's. I can't keep them in my life, not after what they've done. As I walk away, the cold air feels refreshing, washing away the pain. I know that from this point on, I need to focus on myself. I will heal and rebuild my life, piece by piece. I stop to take a breath, looking up at the stars twinkling above me. This is a new beginning, a chance to reclaim my life and my happiness, free from the deception that has plagued me. I won't let their choices define my future. As I walk away from the bar, I realize that sometimes, betrayal opens the door to a greater freedom. I'm ready to embrace the unknown and move forward without the weight of their deceit holding me back. This is the end of one chapter, but the beginning of another, a chapter where I will choose to be happy, without them.